So going into the movie Subservience, this 2024 sci-fi movie about an android that becomes self-aware, played by Megan Fox, I am posed with two questions. Number one, has Megan Fox got the acting range to pull off an android? And number two, does she come with machine gun jubblies?
Machine gun jubblies? How did I miss those, baby?
So welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to this here movie review. Megan Fox, Subservience, this new science fiction thriller about a domesticated android that goes berserk, basically. So this film here, it's rated R for some reason, probably because a little bit of nudity therein. Violence is not overly heavy. There's a tiny bit of blood. It runs for 1 hour and 45 minutes and is directed by S.K. Dale, who has previously worked with Megan Fox. He directed that movie that she was in called Till Death. I don't know if you know it. The one where on the cover of the box she's lying in the snow, looks like she's dead. The film is written by Will Homley and April Maguire. So this film here, this film follows this father played by Mikel Marone. Now I had to be careful I said that because the way his name is spelt, you could almost say Michelle, but Mikel, given by his accent, he does come across as European from somewhere. I don't know if he's French or something like that. I didn't look it up. He plays a character called Nick, this father of this young girl and a very young baby whose wife has fallen ill. She's fallen ill and she's in hospital. She's got a problem with her heart and she's awaiting a transplant. He's struggling at home. He's struggling with work. He's struggling with the kids and this sort of a thing. So on this shopping spree, they go through this area where they're selling these artificial people. Now this film is set in a world that is pretty much like as it is now, and visually it's not far future or anything like that. It's to our world today, but androids exist basically, and they're fulfilling the functions of humans in hospitals and in the workplace and this sort of a thing. So he ends up buying this android, an android that looks exactly like Megan Fox. Would you buy an android that actually looks like that? Would your wife let you buy an android that looks like that? Would you end up sleeping with said android? Obviously he does. But as this film progresses, he introduces her into the home to look after the kids, this sort of thing, help tidy up while he goes off to work. He's a blue-collar worker, he's a construction worker, and his crew are about to be replaced by synthetics, or whatever you want to call them, androids, synthetics, synths. They're about to replace his work crew, and this causes some issues therein as well. As the story progresses, his wife's in hospital, she starts getting worse, and this android played by Megan Fox, her name is Alice, like I said, after Alice in Wonderland. She starts to become a bit more human, starts to learn, become self-aware, and this all comes about because he asks her to delete some stuff from her memory, and he resets her because he wants her to watch a film basically with him. And this kicks off this chain of events where she's able to rewrite her own code and delete things and work around other codes and this sort of thing in her programming, blah blah blah, until she starts to become well, nasty basically. She starts to perceive the wife as a threat. She perceives the youngest child as a threat and attempts to kill him, and all this sort of stuff going on. Now this film here, there's nothing new to offer. If you've seen the Channel 4 TV programme Humans, that pretty much does everything that this programme does, but just not as quick, not as violently, that sort of a thing. But it's there. It's that programme in a film, in an essence. Domesticated android, he sleeps with it. Problems are caused in the family home, blah blah blah. Android starts becoming self-aware and goes off on this nutty killing spree. The last third act of this film turns into the Terminator. It has some dodgy special effects in there, and you come to this point where the Alice android starts uploading, her program starts uploading to the internet, so it's going to spread everywhere and all this sort of nonsense. So this film here, hour and 45 minutes, my God, it dragged. This film dragged along like, oh my God, I was so bored. I checked the running time, see how much was left. There was over half an hour left, and I was like, my God, I thought it was coming to an end. I was hoping that it was wrapping up. Megan Fox. I don't mind Megan Fox, okay? I couldn't usually watch films with her in, but I actually didn't like her playing an android. I didn't think she was convincing, believe it or not. You know, she wasn't convincing in this role, not at all. The main guy, Mikel Marone, he done fine. He was all right. He was watchable, but pretty much it's a pretty flat, generic film. Visually, nothing to look at, nothing impressive, apart from Megan Fox's Botox and stuff that she's had done to her face. Yeah, it's quite a lackluster, boring movie. Certainly a film that I don't think I would ever consider visiting again. But yeah, unfortunately, no, she didn't have machine gun jubblies. But it does pose that question, would you sleep with an android? If this was real, seriously, if this was real and we was in a world where these sort of androids were created, obviously they would go into that kind of industry. They'd be utilised by that kind of industry. And as red-blooded males, right, I mean, the bit I didn't get is why his wife wasn't overly bothered by this android that had the looks of a woman that's as attractive as Megan Fox is, or Megan Fox was, whatever way you want to look at it. But yeah, and it poses that question, would you sleep with it? And is it cheating? Is it? And that's what I liked about this. It started to delve into that, and I was asking this question myself. If a woman can use a toy that is used for what it's used for, with movement and all this sort of a thing, is there much of a difference? I don't know. My wife didn't like the line of questioning and me asking this hypothetical question to her. She got a bit upset by it, actually, for some unknown, obscure reason. But there we go. But yeah, so really a film that I'm not overly interested in revisiting. It's all been done before. It's been done better. Very Terminator-esque kind of ending. Bits where the main character's hiding behind this desk, and the Megan Fox robot walks round, and why she couldn't see them, I don't know. It's just nonsense. Nonsense, rubbish. That's what this movie was.